that was all the ones I picked. Do we want anything else?
I'm okay with that list.
Okay, so then these each get 2 votes, and then these get, so this is an 8 total. And so we can just do 1 to 2, 3 to 4, and then each of these. Random number 1 through 8.
Sure.
Alright, let's do this. So, winning theme is 7. I guess we're doing indirect control. We have no control over our choice. Yeah, because you control the probability that we like weighting the dice. You choose how it's weighted.
Yeah, it'd be like a chance simulator, which
We need more than just that.
yeah.
Yeah. Adding random chance could be a way of generating.
So the theme was indirect control, and we chose to express that by giving the player control over the fundamental forces, like gravity and the weak nuclear force, the strong nuclear force, and magnetism, electromagnetism to be specific.
All right.
Alright.
Break. You want to break this game? Yeah.
I worked mostly on the forces and the interface that goes into manipulating objects on the screen. Mike worked on the character movement, and since the whole idea of this challenge was supposed to be indirect control, that was essential, because the idea was that you don't have direct control over the player. You get to manipulate things in the player's environment, but the player moves themselves.
Trying to get Capsule Dude here to move between the points, and he won't even acknowledge that the points are there, which is mildly annoying, and I don't quite understand it, but I'm going to work on it.
Unbearing gifts.
Woo!
First, this.
Yay!
Second, this.
I feel like we're very much still at the beginning, laying the groundwork, and it's a little bit disappointing, just the amount of stuff I wasn't able to get done in the first, 12 hours or so. But I think we've got a solid plan.
Yeah, I do like the game that we came up with. I think the idea behind it is pretty cool. So, and like I said, it's a project that I think that we are capable of getting done, but it's one that I'm willing to work on because I think it's an interesting concept and that it's something that's moderately ambitious, but not outside the realm of doability.
Yeah. The main problem is that the core mechanics are probably the most difficult part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And without them, we can't do anything. So, it'll be a lot better tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a test build to play.
Yeah.
Our first Ludum Dare experience wasn't very successful, as you know, and kind of came up with a game that was less than perfect. Let's go with that.
Honestly, I wasn't actually prepared for it the first time I did it. I didn't realize just how little time you really have in 72 hours to lay the framework and completely create something like this.
But when the player gets to the edge of the screen goes.
Oh, okay.
So it's like stages of a level.
Yeah.
That way.
Makes sense. Yeah, and then it would, we would just shut down any forces or whatever that they're applying, stop whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we?
Alrighty. Good talk.
Yeah, we're doing this a lot, but it's good.
I just needed a moment to sit over here and think about stuff.
The first time I met Jason without knowing who he was, he held the door open for me at the SOC where I used to work, Student Organization Center, downstairs Kirchhoff, and I was working.
And I had gone inside Kirchhoff, and I was just walking around, and I saw Mike and a bunch of other people leaving the Student Organization Center. I assumed that Mike was also leaving, so I held the door open for a bunch of the people that were leaving.
But I was working, and he held the door open for me because everyone else was leaving. I had to lock it down.
And I kept holding the door open for Mike, and he just kind of sat there, and I was like, okay, do you want to leave? And he's like, oh no, I'm actually staying. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And he felt awkward.
Yeah,
It's only right as soon as you start. What did you do?
I'm just seeing what happens if I don't constrain position Z. But
It's difficult when you're working as a team to stay on the same page, and it can sometimes be hard to see the project as the goal and to not get caught up in a disagreement about, what are you supposed to work on, or what's the most valuable thing, or, is this something we should have in the game, or is this something we shouldn't?
I just tested the you win nav point. It works. So now I'm gonna make it a die nav point. Just visually, what do you think is a good death distance?
probably about 30.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be off the camera.
Well, yeah, but you want to be able to drop down sometimes.
He and I tend to get along for the most part. We can work together to solve problems, and he and I generally have at least similar thought processes on like how to solve problems. But what I always find interesting is how we seem to have different approaches when it comes to like the big picture of projects.
Well, Jason and I will probably put in a couple more hours tonight, so hopefully the goal for tomorrow will be playtesting and level design and maybe some cool graphical things.
Yeah, last night went okay. We tried working on animation for the character. That had limited success. At the moment, we're just going to be sticking to using a capsule, and if we have time, we're going to come back and actually complete character animation.
Yep, that took about 3 or 4 hours last night. Now it's all scrapped, so that's a bit upsetting. But yeah, now we're going back to the capsule, and I can get back to actually making progress, which I'm looking forward to. I was definitely hoping we'd get the game done in the 72 hours just because I wanted to be able to say that we had completed the challenge. But no, I think the game is a good enough concept and a fun enough game to play that it's definitely worth continuing. And we're learning by doing it, so. Footage of him there.
That's fine. You might as well have this while it's still.
There you go. See, now you have some fine-tuned controlling.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that. Okay, so he's jumping.
Oh.
Oh, well.
He didn't
Because
make
I
it.
messed with the gravity. Or
So yes, you can do that. One neat trick would be if you wanted to.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed seeing how each person who played the game had a different approach to it, and that's actually exactly what I wanted from the game.
That was really cool. It was someone enjoying and getting to use something that we had spent hours creating. And I mean, that's the goal with games, is getting people to play them. It was cool just to watch him struggle through it and learn and experience something that we'd created for him.
It's definitely something I'd like to continue as a hobby. I don't know that I'll ever be able to, make a Minecraft or something like that. That would be a huge success that would allow me to do that full time. But it's something that I do really like. I enjoy telling stories. I enjoy coding. I enjoy video games. And I think that making a video game is basically a way to combine those three passions into one thing.
It's the challenge is to learn and to become a better programmer, to get better at Unity or whatever game you're making, to build something that's fun and also helps you, I don't want to say become a better person, but kind of more well-rounded person maybe.
It's something that programming has been something that I've been doing since high school. Video games are something I've been playing since I think it was 5 years old when my parents got our first computer. And there's something that I am passionate about. It's a way of improving yourself, almost. A lot of people see video games as a time sink, but it can be time well spent. It's just a matter of, how are you viewing the game? Are you viewing the game as you playing against other people, or are you viewing it as you're playing more against yourself, trying to be better? And that is something that you can apply anywhere in life.